Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out getting my walk in, but yeah, just wanted to cover something that I thought was inspirational, and I feel like more people need to hear. Now, before we get into this next video, I want to make sure, and disclaimer here, that I will be using videos from other sources. I found these sources inspirational. I do not take any credit for what they've said. That's why I'm sharing their clips. With that being said, let's jump into this. So, I've made videos similar to this multiple times, and I've never actually posted it. This is part of me that's uncomfortable and just difficult to talk about, but something that I've struggled with since I was about 6.5, 7 years old. So, been working through those things lately, and just have been through a couple things that are I found inspirational and that have helped me, and I hope it helps someone else out there. Anyway, so at about the age of 6.5, 7, right around there, my dad passed away, and that was very difficult for my family and I. And I didn't know right then. I was super young, and so I wasn't ready to know exactly what had happened. But as I got older and was ready to hear it, I come to find out that my father had taken his own life. This has been something that I have struggled with my entire life, and it's been difficult. Been the cause of identity crisis, self-esteem, depression, anxiety, thoughts of taking my own life, and I've struggled with these kinds of things throughout my entire life, trying to find out my identity as a man, trying to find, especially in this day and age when everyone around you is wanting to tear down being a man and masculinity and everything, and it's rough. I haven't wanted to talk about these things. One, because in a sense this is taboo nowadays, and two, it's just I'm a guy. I have a hard time talking about my feelings and stuff, but it's important, and I feel like there's many in my same situation that could benefit from this. And so me being silent isn't helping anyone. It's not helping me. It's not helping those around me. And it's really not helping those that are in a similar situation wondering, how do I deal with this, right? Hey guys, I'm just here editing this video. There was a bunch of background noise and just got really bouncy. So unfortunately, I'm ending up having to remove that portion of the video. So we're going to pick up where I left off. So with all this that's happened with my family, it has been something that I have been trying to figure out how I can turn it into something positive, something helpful. I've come across a handful of people throughout my lifetime that have had similar situations. And what I'm about to say is there's lots of, I'm going to put it this way, there's lots of help for many different people. What I feel like there's a lack of help is, and many times we just kind of overlook, and maybe a lot of it is because us as men we go to that I'm fine type thing. But I feel like in a situation like this, men struggle. And whether it's, your father, son, brother, friend, whatever it may be, it's difficult. But most especially those that are young and lose their fathers, or maybe an older brother, some sort of example type in the life. I want to be able to help them get through that. And I'm still working on getting there. And there is a step that I've been taking, and I'm building something. And I'm not going to go in depth into it. It is called the Rising Phoenix Project. Some of you may have seen I have made some posts a while back about it. I have basically created the start of it, but it's not something that I'm quite ready to dive into 100% yet, but it is coming. And it's kind of been put on the back burner. And part of the reason that is because I'm still working through things on my own and still trying to figure out some things. I'm getting better at things, and I'm a lot more confident in some things as far as dealing with that trauma. And I want to be able to talk more in depth about my situation. But in able to do that, I need to be okay with me, and I need to be able to work through that and learn how to work through that stuff before I can help someone else. So, and the reason why am I even bringing this up is because there was a personal development call that I participated in this last week. And I don't know if you guys know the Muscle. He has started this thing called the Limitless Society, and it is a whole group of entrepreneurs and that get together. And some of these guys are multimillionaires. There's a couple billionaires in there, and this whole network basically is helping each other. And it's not just business; it's like everything, because you have to basically become a new person, reinvent yourself, rededicate yourself to things. Anyway, so Keaton was talking about these childhood traumas and how we can use those to help us and help direct us. And a concept that I never thought about until this call was, well, first of all, he had us close our eyes, right? We close our eyes. We imagine the first childhood memory we could remember. And so we thought about that. And then he had us close our eyes again. And he had us think about the first pain that we ever felt. Well, immediately, it was a trigger. Immediately went right straight to learning about my father passing. And with that being said, it hit me. My eyes, I started crying and everything, and it just hit me. And then this is what he said. We're going to go ahead and play this, and I want you guys to listen to this and think about this. Think about that first childhood pain, childhood trauma, and then think about what he says. Very interesting.
Version of me, and the best version of me is who Keaton needed when he was 10 years old. The best version of you is who you needed when you were a young child in the pain that you dealt with. Whatever it is, and everybody's childhood is different. The best version of you is somebody that God prepared you from the time you were young to become now. For those of you who grew up poor and who remain poor, you are simply not becoming what you needed then, and you're not it now. For those of you who grew up with alcoholism and who are now a drinker, who grew up in abuse and are now abusive, who grew up in pain and suffering and now continue in pain and suffering. You are simply not becoming the version of you that God told you he was preparing you to become. See, the truth is all of us go through shit, and all of our shit is different, and I wonder why. Maybe it's because we're being prepared to become something great. And most of us are not stepping up to that challenge and that call.
Boom. Most of us are not stepping up to that challenge. And I mean, he is right on. And this concept of becoming that person that I needed at the young age of 7, and throughout the times I've grown up, and each of the times that I've needed someone, father figure, taking that and writing that down, and I have exactly what I need. Those are the things that I need to become that person. And that is part of becoming the person that I am capable of becoming. This was a little over an hour, and it just continued like that. And just bam, bam, bam. It was incredible. And there were a lot of wet eyes, including myself, in that call. But it was amazing. And this right here is what reminded me of what I ultimately want to do. And that is coming with the Rising Phoenix project. And along with that, I am wanting to write a book and basically write down my experiences from that moment at 6.5, 7 years old to where I am now. There are still things each and every day that I struggle with, as far as missing my dad and things. I'm 36 years old, and there's times where I wish I could call him up and talk to him. I call and talk to my mom all the time, and from time to time I call my father-in-law and talk to him. And that's great. Those are awesome. But being able to have that relationship that others have with their dads, and not everyone has them, and nor do they want them possibly, but that's just something that I feel like sometimes gets taken for granted, and something that I wish that I had. But I want to make sure that my kids have that my kids know that no matter what, they can come to dad. No matter what, dad's got it. And that's who I want to become. And that's who I need to become. And that was an amazing call. I'm going to drop another video here of some cool quotes that I thought were interesting.
Bad times show you who are the great people in your life. Think back to your toughest times, your worst times, when everything was going wrong, when things were falling apart. Who were those people that stood by you, that called you, that messaged you?
Help me to help others like me that are in a similar situation. The best way that you guys can do that is to like, share, and subscribe. My goal is to be able to help others and to be able to help them into success. And with that, I want you guys to take care, be safe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.